this is the movie that, and you guys haven't seen it yet. So this is, I gotta try and pitch it to you without spoiling it, and just tell you the great aspects of this. Robert Pattinson, Batman. Jeffrey Wright, James Gordon, Zoe Kravitz, Selena Kyle, Paul Dano, the Riddler, Colin Farrell, the Penguin.
Yep.
An amazing cast, acting on a cinematic level, not just a comic book level, but a strong drama level. And I can do this without giving away much spoilers. I saw this 3 times. And
wow.
I did it twice. I know you saw it twice.
And I did it again.
Saw it a third time.
I saw it a third time. The first time I saw it, I saw it in IMAX. Fantastic way to see it. For the Batmobile alone, you need to see it in IMAX. Because you feel the vibration of that engine in your bones. It is ridiculous. Hey, Big E's in town. Hey, you got to see it. Eric, you got to see it. It is a phenomenal movie. And, hopefully we're going to be doing a deep dive on it soon. And I'm sure when it comes out on Warner Brothers, maybe we can all be, viewers of it and enjoy it at that time. But yeah, great film.
I'm trying to go see it.
It's I'll tell you what, it is dark. And that's one of the things that kind of put me off. Let me tell you my experience. The first time I saw it, it's just spectacle. You're immersed in Gotham in a way that what I always do is I'd like to compare to things that people can draw reference from. So if you were to take the Joker and Tim Burton's Batman, I know it's the same, source material, but that's kind of the aesthetic. So you have a lot of the dreariness and just darkness of Tim Burton in a grounded, unforgiving reality of Joker. That's your Gotham. It's like New York that never made it out of the the 1970s slum. Yeah, and Gotham is definitely a character, and I think they pulled it off where Christopher Nolan couldn't. And here's why I say that. Christopher Nolan, because remember the first Batman Begins.
Yeah, that
Gotham was kind of an interesting aesthetic. It was, they had like the 80-story train, things like that. So it wasn't, architecturally sound, but it had Chicago, an aesthetic.
But yeah.
Yeah. No. Dark Knight. The Dark Knight was definitely Chicago. That was so grounded. It was just Chicago. And that's what I'm saying is they found the balance because Christopher Nolan first started with a fictional city, and then he just said, "Listen, I'm just going to go to Chicago and make it that." So that played. It was almost like heat. It was just such a good film. This one I think has that balance where it's still a functional city, but it's really dense and just oppressing. It's raining 50% of the time, and it's night 99% of the time. So it's just, it's depression visualized in a certain sense. And like I said, Robert Pattinson, people are asking who's better, Robert Pattinson or Christian Bale. I will say this. I will say it in the same way that Joaquin Phoenix and Heath Ledger are different Jokers, but they're different Jokers in different time. Joaquin Phoenix was the beginning of the Joker, so he wasn't a fleshed out Joker. Heath Ledger was full stride as Joker. Same deal with this. Christian Bale has been Batman for a while. Robert Pattinson is like the newbie Batman. So the thing that you'll love when you see this is he does not have all the skills. He messes up on several occasions. With his detective skills, he gets stuff wrong. With his fighting skills, he gets stuff wrong. With his action stuff, it's almost. And this, I'm going to show my age here. But did you ever see America's Greatest Hero, the TV series?
No.
It was wonderful. Long story short, he's a superhero who does not know all of it. He's like Shazam. He's very new to his skill set, so he's not killing it. But no, he's still good. Don't get me wrong. But it's just he doesn't have any practical knowledge because he hasn't done a lot of these stunts that he does.
So that's actually something I never liked about Batman Begins. Right?
Right.
As much as I liked Christian Bale as Batman, and I liked those movies, I didn't like Batman Begins because they don't dive into how Batman actually begins, right?
Mhm.
I really like the DC series Batman Year One, right? Where they dive into what it was like for Batman as he is becoming Batman, as he's figuring out his outfit, how he's approaching crime fighting, building his detective skills, building tools, and them not working.
Now, are you
Right?
talking about the comic book?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And there is an animated version too, right? It's based
Yeah,
on,
it's yeah. I mean, Warner Brothers is not.
but
Not-
yeah, in the
not-
comic, it's great because you see him. He builds his like harpoon gun and he fires it, and it literally like breaks in his hands, and he's like, there goes his escape. But I really liked it because it showed him not as the, super brilliant, like never makes a mistake, incredible fighter, and always on top of the bad guys. It showed him more grounded in that he can make mistakes. He did make mistakes.
It humanizes him.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that
So and that was my understanding of this, of going into this film, is that it was Batman in his very early years, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing that.
let me put it to you this way: it's heavily influenced by Batman Year One, but they just say it's Batman Year Two. They just skip to the very next year, so it's Batman Year Two, and he literally says in his narration, "I've been doing this for 2 years." So it's Batman Year Two.
Okay.
He does have, and you can tell he has a relationship with Gordon, which is great to see them work. Oh, they play off each other so well. Jeffrey Wright is, and here's what kills me: these are such great actors that they put in these iconic roles. So now, is it Gary Oldman or Jeffrey Wright? I would say that they're different because they're at different times in their career. But Jeffrey Wright is an awesome Commissioner Gordon.
I believe it.
Yeah, and here's what I'll say. The reason why I almost did not like it, and I was telling you guys in our chats,
Yeah.
I had a lot of issues with this because it pulled so heavily from everything else.
Yep.
I always score points for originality, and I would not say that this is original. But I would say it's kind of a collage of a lot of things, which can be original art, I guess. Here's the thing. So yes, it's Batman Year Two. It pulls from that. It also pulls from the comic book Hush.
Sure.
You'll see a lot of pulling from that. And here's the thing: is to give the Riddler menacing kind of a gravitas. They basically make him John Doe from Seven. That he's a hodgepodge between that and the Zodiac Killer. So he's not, running around in green spandex, riddle me this. No, he's basically a serial killer that is leaving clues for the police, which is Seven. That's literally it. He has a mission and he's doing all these murders that are clever in his mind. But so it is really good to see no, absolutely, Eric, absolutely. An awesome miniseries. And so they're pulling from that. They're pulling from Zodiac because he has ciphers and stuff. You see it in the trailer, not giving anything away. And in the mindset is just he's doing these things for a reason, whatever that reason is. You'll find out. And it's so it was so close, and it had a lot of the same beats as Seven and Zodiac, that I was just like, come on, you're ripping it off. And I still think that they used some things that were so literally from those movies that I'm a little put off, but it plays.
I would look at it like, if you're looking at detective movie, like you're basically writing a detective movie, right?
It's a noir, yeah.
Detective
noir,
is more detective
Mm-hmm.
because that's when he's building those detective skills, how to research and how to find criminals and how to get into their organizations and build profiles and things. That's where I would do the same thing. I would look at what are some of the best detective movies or series to pull from, and Seven without a doubt is up there. And Zodiac,
I mean, Seven, Zodiac, Silence of the Lambs, all of that.
Yeah.
I will tell you this, Kenny, you will love, and this I will give it 100% credit for. The Batman is a detective. This is the first time that you really see him go to a crime scene and break it down. And how he breaks it down is really inventive. I won't give it away, but it is awesome how he breaks it down. And Pattinson, the character, and this I will give him credit for as an actor, because you barely see him as Bruce Wayne. He's usually Batman, so I'd say at least 80% of this movie he's always in his costume, and he doesn't do the voice. He doesn't do the Christian Bale Batman, I need a lozenge voice. He does the opposite. He almost whispers, which is really kind of cool if you think about it, because when you command that kind of power, you don't need to yell at people. You basically you're barely even there. You're just whispering through it, and he barely has any lines, but his delivery is just spot on for this Batman. And one thing I will say is, people are saying, well, his Bruce Wayne looks really emo, and 100% he's emo. And here's why: he's still, just this young traumatized kid playing Batman. So he has not even developed the Bruce Wayne persona yet. Because everybody knows Batman is the real man and Bruce Wayne is the mask. Essentially, Bruce Wayne is the character. Batman's who he really is.
Yeah.
And in this one, because he's so early, he hasn't really developed that whole Bruce Wayne playboy thing. So that's why he looks like emo Bruce Wayne, because he is. He's a punk kid. He's just. But so it's so good. And Catwoman, Zoe Kravitz, she's fantastic. I had some issues with her motivations at times, but she pulled it off well. And again, Colin Farrell as Penguin.
He's already gotten his own miniseries.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, they're doing a Penguin miniseries on HBO. Well deserved. And I'm sure that that's the only reason Colin signed up for it, knowing that there'd be like an extended. Well, yeah, maybe not. I mean, he looked like he's having a lot of fun.
When I saw the first image of the Penguin from this movie, I had no clue.
I still can't see that it's him.
I know, it's like
wild.
Are you sure that's Colin Farrell? Like, dang.
When they were talking, Colin Farrell and Jeffrey Wright were doing some, interviews after the press tour, and Jeffrey Wright said, "I walked right past him. I was going to run lines with Colin. I didn't even know that was Colin." And they would also talk about, the rest of the cast, like, you'd come up to him and he'd switch out of his Irish accent right into this new, I guess it's New Jersey. They're basically trying to do like a really thick Jersey accent kind of, and they just said it was so, and I'm sure a lot of actors say this, when you're wearing prosthetics, it's transformative. You feel the role, and you put on the bodysuit and the weight and you walk differently, things like that. So and I would say you have to expect some awards, for that, because I'd put it up there with the Eyes of Tammy Faye makeup, the House of Gucci makeup that they did for what's his name, the lesser Joker, Jared Leto. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. He had his own interpretation. Fine, nobody's paying me to be Joker, so he must have done something right. And it was good. And but again, the his suit, it's tactical. Again, not polished because this is year 2. So he's probably had to learn by getting stabbed a lot and getting, shot a lot that, oh, I need some extra armor here. And it's just really applicable. His suit is the weight of it. He uses that, and the fight scenes are brutal. I mean, brutal. It's I put it on par with the Ben Affleck warehouse scene in Batman versus Superman.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is brutal. And you in the trailer you see when he's taking on that gang on like the train platform, and he's they're like, "Who are you?" And then he just starts wailing on this guy. It's hilarious because the fight choreographer had him just do like this scene, and then the guy goes down. But Robert Pattinson added 2 extra punches just because he said that's what my Batman would do, is he just keep wailing on him. So now there's so many good things. And again, I 3 times was what I needed to get past the liberal borrowing of these other movies and just enjoy it for what it was. And cinematography, fantastic. I mean, it's like New York was never cleaned up. It kept growing, but it was never cleaned up. And so you have just, it's the CD. I'm sorry, go ahead, Kenny.
I said Jersey.
Well, hey, come on.
I'm
not going to demean, but
hey, now.
Now, neither one of you guys have seen Joker, right?
No,
but I grew up in Jersey, so watch it.
well, no, the thing about Joker, and again, I love this about and Logan, you're like, these are seamless special effects when it comes to the location. So you know how like in Star Wars they had a lot of the matte paintings and stuff like that that just make things look just ominous when they're not really that big, but you just have matte painting on top of it, and it
Classic
makes
Star Wars, you're saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Practical effects.
Yeah.
Or trick photography, not special effects.
Sure.
And they make Gotham huge structures but again, it's always night, and there's like neon lights and stuff like that. So it's like Times Square times 10. It's from the 70s. So it's just this. It's an amazing location. It's definitely a character in it, and again, Robert Pattinson.
Does it cross into like kind of a Neo Tokyo kind of a feel
with a slightly less neon? I would say yes.
Okay.
I would say yes. That's an excellent an excellent observation. I would say it'd almost be like a Ghost in the Shell type of a dense.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing or picturing when you were saying that. Yeah.
Also, I'd say it's kind of like Arcane. It's very vertical. There's all because it's the city, so there's a lot of vertical stuff. But it's just it's so depressing. It's always raining, and they walk in the rain, and the streets are just overrunning with sewage, and but it's such a well-produced film. Michael Mann, he killed it with this one. And again, you got to remember he did Planet of the Apes, so he has that ability to merge special effects seamlessly with live action and just work the drama. And he just worked the drama. Again, I can't give enough praise to this. You guys definitely got to check it out. I will definitely be doing an in-depth review. Matter of fact, something I was thinking about doing, I'm just spitballing here, is because there's so many fans out there of this movie. I was thinking about, we can do a deep dive review, but open it up to conversations from the audience. So I know a lot of people have a lot of thoughts on it and really want to just integrate that into the next deep dive episode. So out there, you'll probably see a scheduling for the deep dive Batman review, but it'll be inviting you all to jump in the conversation and have your comments read on screen if they're appropriate and if they're applicable to the Batman. So we can all enjoy this wonderful conversation. But
yeah,
you guys, now Logan, are you going to watch it in theaters or wait till?
I don't know. It's getting to the point where I might consider a late night showing. Especially kind of later, in the run when it's, definitely, me and the guy bringing me the popcorn kind of a thing. I'll have to look at times and things, but it's funny. My wife and I were talking the other day that, we're getting to the point where it's been a while since we've been to a movie, and there are some things that we'd kind of like to go see, and maybe we'll have to figure out how to make that happen.
I mean, you got to be safe. I completely get that. But I mean, I'm saying this one is probably going to be on a run. Maybe not as much as Spider-Man. I saw it, 3 times only because the first time I bought tickets well in advance, and it was IMAX, so I needed to get that experience. And the second 2 times I caught it at the Alamo.
Which IMAX did you go to?
Brambleton.
I'm just debating if I should go. If I only go see it the one time, should I go see it in IMAX?
Yes. Oh, I gotta gush over the Batmobile. It is a muscle car of all muscle cars. I mean, it does have the jet engine on the back, and
I had trouble distinguishing what it's built off of.
It's like a Baja rally car.
Okay.
You know when they do those long Baja races where you have the souped up suspension. It's basically if you were to take Fast and the Furious and just put it on a Baja chassis and put an engine on the back of it. It's completely ridiculous, but it's not practical in any respect, but it works because it's just it's a grounded over the top vehicle. The physics work. It's just, and also here's another thing, because he's not that skilled at being Batman yet, he's not that good a driver either. So he's like crashing. He's running into stuff, crashing. He's not doing corners right. It's awesome. And a lot of people will talk about, the highway chase scene. It's pretty good. At times I did lose my geography a little. You know how sometimes when it's cut too close, you can't get a sense of direction, but it was good. It was good. And, you see most of it in the trailer anyway, but it's still an awesome scene. Definitely need to check out the Batman. We will be doing, like I said, a deep dive review with viewer participation. So stay tuned for that.
And that'll be great. We actually got a comment from one in particular that I remember from our Discord channel. Elrod, I believe, had asked if we were doing some deep dive movie reviews soon. So hopefully he and some of the others out there can keep an eye on that one. And if you have any other recommendations of ones that are out there currently, we're always taking recommendations.
Absolutely. I am a bona fide cinephile. I go to meetings, but I'm working on it. Any movie.
Is that like AA?
Yeah, exactly. It's CA, Cinephiles Anonymous, and, put it out there. Whatever movie, I mean, I've seen almost all the movies anyway, and I always am open to seeing most new ones. So any recommendations for movies you want to hear us discuss, at least let us know so we can put it on the list. If we've already seen it, we can jump right on it. If not, we'll schedule a viewing and then get back to you. So we love, discussing movies, TV shows, but movies are always a special deep dive thing to do. So super cool. Yeah. So again, I will just finish by saying the Batman. Oh, and also the soundtrack, they play Nirvana, Something in the Way, which is like, it is a dirge of a 90s grunge song, but it fits. It fits. Okay. And I want so much to talk to you about the psychology of Batman and the psychology of the Riddler, and there's so much to unpack. So I will be doing that in the deep dive. We can just pontificate over everything. The Joker's outfit. I'm sorry, the Riddler's outfit, not the Joker. Who's better? I have no problem with doing a little head to head Joker, Riddler, Batman, Batmobile comparison. So anyway, good stuff. Looking forward to discussing the Batman at a later date.